What's up, guys? We are finally back with Kubota High Limit Racing this week. It is race number 31 at the Tulare Thunderbowl Raceway in Tulare, California. It's going to be taking place on Thursday, August 15th, and this is your race preview. It's been a long time since High Limit Racing was last in action. It's been about 3 weeks since the last time we raced. That was back at Lernerville Speedway in Sarver, Pennsylvania, when Rico Abreu got the win. But ever since then, man, it has been a very long time since the series was in action. Obviously, there's been a bunch of racing outside of High Limit Racing, including the Knoxville Nationals, which was won by Kyle Larson. And, these guys, a lot of them, as far as the full-timers go, they have not been taking any breaks. They have been racing a lot, whether that's with the World of Outlaws, whether that's with the Knoxville Nationals, or other, series and races going on as well. So these guys have been staying busy. They've been in the seat. But as far as the points and the championship goes, with High Limit, not much has been going on. So we mentioned it already. The next race is at the Tulare Thunderbowl Raceway. It's going to be Thursday Night Thunderbowl. That is the name of the race. The weather is looking pretty good. It's going to be a little bit hot, but at least there's no rain in the forecast. 96 degrees will be the high, a low of 61 degrees, and a rain percent chance of just 1%. So if you know me and you've watched when I was with the Outlaws a couple of years ago, I always put 1% chance of rain on there just in case something crazy happened. Does not want to put 0%. We put 1% on there just in case something were to happen. Clear and sunny skies with 5 to 10 mile per hour winds greeting us there in Tulare on Thursday night. This race will pay $25,000 to the winner and $1,500 to start the race. And the estimated car count right now is looking at about 40-ish. So I saw a couple of people online talking about how many cars there could be. Saw a lot of people saying between 30 and 35. But right now we have, very close to 40 cars, and it's going to be a really, really good field of sprint car drivers showing up to Tulare, which in turn will lead to good car counts for the next two races at Hanford and at Placerville. So the most recent 410 winners at the Thunderbowl Raceway, the most recent one was Shane Golombek earlier this year with the NARC King of the West Series here in 2024. And then in 2023, there was a pair of races as well. Justin Cox, he got a win with NARC in 2023, along with Corey Day before he was a full-time high roller. Corey Day, last year's NARC champion, got a win here at the Thunderbowl Raceway. And then in 2022, a couple of races as well. Rico Abreu, he got a win with King of the West, and Dominic Scelzi with NARC as well in 2022. Now, if you hear me, swap between NARC and King of the West, those are the same thing, at least in my eyes, right? Those are the same type of series. They kind of go back and forth with the name, it seems like almost every other year. But NARC, King of the West, those have been the last 5 410 races there at the Thunderbowl. So no outlaw races in the last couple of years at this racetrack. Now, the track record was set by the current points leader with Kubota High Limit Racing, that being Brad Sweet. The lap time is a 12.582 second time. It was set on March 13th of 2015. So about an 8-year track record going on right now for Brad Sweet. We'll see if we can get anywhere near that time when we show up there on Thursday. Now, my thinking is with how hot it's going to be very, very hard to get to that track record time, especially with a very good car count going to be on hand on Thursday. Now, right here, if you are not familiar with these race previews, I know we've got a lot of new subscribers here on the channel. The HRP, that stands for the High Roller Playlist. The music you will be hearing on the Flow Racing broadcast, or if you're going to be in the grandstands, the music you'll be hearing over the speaker system there, it is going to be Kyle Larson's second set of songs. The first time we heard his music was back at the Eagle Raceway for the Midweek Money Series. So the second set of Kyle Larson's songs we played on Thursday night at Tulare's Thunderbowl Raceway. Looking at the point standings, obviously they have not moved in quite a while. Brad Sweet has 1,904 points. He is the current leader with Kubota High Limit Racing in the point standings. He has a 96-point lead over Tyler Courtney, a 238-point lead over Brent Marks, 264 points over Rico Abreu, and a 280-point lead over Corey Day. So that's the top 5 right now in point standings with High Limit Racing. But with this upcoming schedule, I really think this probably, the 3rd through about 7th, that could really get shaken up quite a bit here. Brent Marks has been a little bit off of his game here recently. Going to California for the first time in about 5 years, he could, have a really rough stretch here and allow Rico and Corey Day to catch up to him. And then on the flip side as well, up here at the top, Brad Sweet has not, by the time we race on Thursday, Brad Sweet has not won a race of any kind in about 3 months. The last time he won was at May 16th or May 15th at the Outlaw Speedway in New York. So it's been a very long time since Brad Sweet went to victory lane with High Limit Racing, or at all, really. Hasn't won with the Outlaws or any other series for that matter. So Brad Sweet is struggling right now. Tyler Courtney, he has not been to a lot of the racetracks that we're racing at with a sprint car. He's been there a lot in a midget. He's been to Thunderbowl in a sprint car before, but some of these other racetracks does not have very much experience at all. So this is going to be a pivotal moment in this championship. The next 11 races on the West Coast, we go, Tulare, Hanford, Placerville, Chico, Douglas County, Grace Harbor, and Skagit. It is going to be a pivotal time for this championship. And by the time we get out of Skagit, it's going to be interesting to see how these points look like, because I really do think there could be a huge shakeup in the top 5, especially with how Brad Sweet has been struggling. But Sweet coming back home, this could be a moment for him to get back on get the ship righted, get back in the saddle, and get back to victory lane. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out, but it should be interesting. Now, looking at the non-high rollers, the drivers that are not full-time with the series, we have a ton of them, and I'm going to tell you right now, we do not have all of them on the board right here. I could not fit all of them, and I'm going to add all of their numbers onto the board from now on as well. So here we go. We'll start at the top, and we're doing it in numerical order until I run out of space on the board. So the first one is Michael Facino. He's going to be driving the F&F Racing X1. He is the defending Placerville Speedway track champion. He will be there. Gage Garcia, one of the Rookie of the Year contenders with the NARC King of the West series. Speaking of that series, Justin Sanders of the 2X, he is the current points leader with NARC as we head into Thunderbowl Raceway. Caleb Montgomery in his own number 3 car will be there. It's been a breakout season for the number 10 car of Dominic Gordon. He will be fun to watch as well. Caleb Henry, who has been tearing up Ohio this year, he will be coming back home and driving the McCulloch Racing number 17 car. Shane Golobic, who has not been racing on a full-time basis this year, in the Matt Wood Racing 17W. It was announced earlier this week that Jamie Veal will be there in the Monty Motorsports number 17 AU, coming out from Warrnambool, Victoria, Australia. Tanner Holmes in the 18T will return to some familiar territory for him in that family-owned car. Dominic Scelzi in the 41 car. Justin Cox, who's up there in the top 3 in point standings right now with NARC in the Bates Hamilton Racing 42X. We've also got Landon Brooks. Now, I got Brooks in the 45 car, the Shannon Wheatley 45, but there is a possibility that he's in the Tyner Hurst Enterprises number 94. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But Landon Brooks will be there, no doubt, in one of those 2 race cars. Jesse Adard will be making the trip over to California. He's been racing a lot in the Pennsylvania area this year in the number 53. Excuse me. Kyle Larson, he'll be there as well in the Paul Silva number 57 car. This will be the only race of the week that Kyle Larson will be at, just Tulare. He will not be at Hanford. He will not be at Placerville. So Kyle Larson will be there at the Thunderbowl on Thursday night. Ryan Bernal will be driving the Josh Ford Motorsports number 73, and Dylan Bloomfield in the Vertulo Racing 83V. So that's just a list of some of the drivers that we're going to be seeing showing up at the Thunderbowl Raceway in Tulare coming up here on Thursday. And I cannot give away too many details, and I'm not going to give away really any details at all, but there will be a surprise car with a surprise driver showing up for these 3 races, and potentially, I don't know what the schedule looks like for this guy, but for the rest of the West Coast swing for High Limit Racing. He is a driver that a lot of people have been talking about here recently, and it's going to be fun to see him in this car, and that's all I'm going to give you. So we're going to have a pretty cool driver and car combo racing with High Limit over the next couple of weeks, and we'll see how he does. So that's all we've got for this race preview. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Are you going to be there at Thunderbowl Raceway? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also hit the like and subscribe button. We're going to be having a couple of race previews coming out here over the next couple of days here on the channel. If you're watching on Flow Racing, thank you so much for the support, and we'll talk to you guys all again here very soon.